Fletchcast. It's genetics. Welcome to the Fletchcast. I'm Michael Fletcher. It's good to have you guys back, club members. I miss you guys. Thought about you a lot over the weekend. I guess now that we have done 7 or 8 episodes, we apparently have obligations. One of which is we are allegedly required to get people to like and subscribe to the Fletchcast logo that's down here. Maybe it's down here, or I'm just pointing at my dick. Like and subscribe to the Fletchcast logo. But here's the thing, though. We're going to do it different. A lot of people just ask you to do it. We're not just going to ask you to do it. We're going to give you a prize, a present of sorts. What is that present? Well, it is a presidential pardon. That's right, a presidential pardon for doing nothing other than liking and subscribing the Fletchcast. So, I mean, you may have some shit to, maybe come clean on. So anyway, I'm joking. We're not going to give you a presidential pardon for liking and subscribing. We're not going to do that. We're going to give you 2 presidential pardons, one for liking and one for subscribing. It's a binding legal contract. So thank you. Now that we've done the corporate thing, I'm going to do my best now to destroy any interest that any corporate entity would have in us, because I'm pissed off. The first episode we did was about Kylie Jenner, and it was me pointing out this what the fuck was that? Not a documentary. Where are you signing? Petition. See, interracial mark, no help at all. First episode we did, I pointed out that there was a petition on move.org or change.org, and it was specifically designed to get Kylie Jenner taken off the WAP video. And again, she wasn't being taken off because she, didn't hire African Americans, or she had, plotted against the United States and tried to repeal the election. They wanted her taken off because she wasn't black enough. And at that time I said, there's no other entity, no other racial identity, no other racial group who would be subjected to that. And I said, and the reason they wouldn't be is because it's fucking racist. And it is as bad as you get. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. And I've thought about it. I mean, I really have. I've thought about why is it that, for example, in that case, it's African-American women and, ironically, Caucasian liberal women working together, saying that it's wrong for Kylie Jenner to be in this video. And again, I'll take you back to this. This is Megan Thee Stallion, who is an African-American woman who assumedly understands what's important to her art and things like that. And who else was the other one on there? Cardi B, club member. And this was, again, but some African-American women along with some Caucasian females started attacking Kylie Jenner because they said this was racial, taking racial spots away from someone. And I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. You would not have a white Caucasian performer or Caucasian supporters trying to kick an African-American off a video because, that African-American lady was usurping Caucasian roles. And it was wrong then, and it's just gotten worse. And we're going to go through a bunch of stuff, but it is clear to me that the media and people who utilize or leverage the media have gone out of their way or believe that it's okay to attack multicultural people. It's okay to attack interracial people. And the reason for it is they view us as like this foreign entity. Well, he's just half black, or she's half Asian, or this or that, and they aren't real people. Now, as you know on this show, that's just bullshit. As I've said from day one, and we're going to go over time and time again, is we're not the future, we're the present. We do everything. We've won everything. We're winning everything. We're driving everything. This idea that certain groups of people can literally assail who we are. I mean, when you have African American women working with Caucasian women saying that a Caucasian woman who's dating an African American or Latino male is somehow usurping racial identity, you're attacking literally who we are. I mean, you're attacking. You want to do that. You want to say that a Jewish woman shouldn't be bat mitzvahed because you'd look like an idiot and you'd sound like an anti-Semite, and yet you attack these people, and these media outlets allow interracial, almost exclusively young women to be attacked based solely upon their, I mean, who we are. I mean, it's crazy. On YouTube, YouTube is literally there. People are trying to kick Joe Rogan off fucking YouTube, even though he's moved on. But they're attacking Joe Rogan because of people who, you know, guests he has on, and Joe Rogan is communist or where the fuck he is, you know, just attacking him. And yet they don't say a goddamn word about people starting a petition saying, get Kylie Jenner off there because she's not black enough. That's offensive. And that's what happens. And that's what we have to deal with. And it's, you know, I've created a list of other women this is happening to. And one of the funny things is that, you know, another conundrum, I guess, is that this same group of African-American women and Caucasian women working together, they have no problem, or seemingly no problem, if an African-American woman is dating a Caucasian dude, then that's okay. And I mean, do you see what I say? It's, and the real issue is that it's us allowing people to interpose race into our group. One of the things we talk about on this show is that being multicultural is utilizing race as a factor to bring us together, to strengthen us. And one of the reasons we become stronger is because by using race as a uniting factor instead of a dividing factor, is it makes us bigger and stronger. But if you let certain groups interpose race or the type of interracial or multicultural relationship you're in as defining the community, then we've done exactly what we don't want to have done. We've allowed people to use race to separate us, to make us smaller, to make us fragment us. I mean, it's crazy. And the other part about it is that it just, the idea that certain multicultural relationships are okay, but others aren't. And the end product of these relationships, let's say they're young interracial women, young interracial girls, 18, 19, 20-year-old interracial multicultural girls doing amazing things. And yet we have parts of our community participating in this wholesale assault against these same people. It's assault against young, successful, talented, multicultural women. And you know, we have people going along with it, and we have to do something. I mean, this is exactly, and again, I can say what I want. I identify as African American. I also identify as multicultural, obviously. I'm almost a black national. I've worked in the African American community for 30 years and said it's economics, economics, economics. And through those 30 years, I've dealt with consistently African American representatives whose number one job seemingly is to destroy other African Americans. It is what hobbles the African American community. It is what precludes the African American community from obtaining all the benefits that could inure to having all the talent that's in that community. And that's what we're doing when we have certain interracial people thinking it's okay to attack primarily young Caucasian women who are involved in interracial relationships with men of color. We have to avoid that. I mean, this is the best example of how poorly this works is LeBron James. LeBron James is he's not just an amazing athlete. He has an African American agent, African American lawyers, African American people that he has hired. He is out there fundamentally changing the representation business in basketball, and the people attacking him the most are African Americans. It's incredible. LeBron James should be held up in the African American community as the perfect role model. He's done it right. He's been great. He's brought economic opportunities into the community and promoted through them, and he gets attacked. It's killing black people. It's killing the community, and we just have to avoid it. And it's another example of that is the NBA. NBA is 73% African American, 13% executives are African American, 20% coaches are African American. It's this failure to recognize what your economic opportunities are. And if we let these other people, if we let these people come on and attack Kylie Jenner and attack, Kim Kardashian, just because they're multicultural, we're doing the same thing. You can't do it. You can't do it. Kylie Jenner, I went and researched this. And again, I don't think I've ever watched the Kylie Jenner show. I just know she's successful and great, and she has a beautiful multicultural child. But most recently, she was in the news because they were saying she's not even a billionaire. This is the standard that interracial young women are held to. She's not even a billionaire. Can you believe she's a lying piece of shit? She's not this. Forbes said this. She's not. Literally, I think she's 23 years old, attacking her. She's not the person putting together the estimates. You think Kylie Jenner's like, hey, Steve, bring over my fucking account and stuff and send it to this magazine. She's not done it. And yet she's being assailed because she's not a billionaire. That is what we allow to happen. She is a multicultural mother. She is a club member. She's hugely successful, but we as a group allow these people to attack us. And by the way, I'm pretty sure roughly half of us are going to have interracial, multicultural children who are female. I mean, this makes no sense from an economic perspective. I can't talk. It makes no sense from a social perspective. It makes no sense from any perspective. And yet we sit back and let this happen. Why is it open season on these young, successful interracial women? And by the way, they've recalculated Kylie Jenner's worth $900 million. Think about it. There's not another single group of people being assailed for not being a billionaire because you're only worth $900 million. That makes no sense. It undermines us. It undermines our community. Targeting successful young women undermines us all. Targeting successful, multicultural young women undermines us all. And we shouldn't participate in that. Kim Kardashian. Again, I spent this week looking this up because it just drives me crazy. I mean, we literally just elected the first female vice president of the United States in the world, a club member, Asian, African American, Asian Afro vice president. And instead of there being this great feel for this and young women of color, particularly multicultural women being elevated, they're being shit on by these media outlets that attack on a consistent basis multicultural, young, successful women. Kim Kardashian literally I was watching this thing. She's being attacked. I wrote it down because you know why? She's in law school. She's in law school. So we should attack Kim Kardashian because she's in fucking law school. How dare she be in law school? That's outrageous. And yet it's on the fucking news. On the news. Instead of saying, wow, look at this chick, this young woman has it going on. She's doing these things. Well, she's famous for doing nothing. Well, what are you people famous for? I mean, Kim Kardashian has done things other than nothing. Crystal Munoz is a Latina who did 20 years in prison for a marijuana possession charge. 20 years. She had like a 6-month-old kid when she left. Kim Kardashian got her out. Alice Johnson is the story that got the most attention, but Alice Johnson didn't get the attention. The lead on that story was Kim Kardashian goes to the White House. Can you believe it? Can you believe Kim Kardashian? She went and talked to Donald Trump. I'm no Trump person. I'm not involved in politics, but Kim Kardashian went and talked to Donald Trump to get a person out of prison off a life sentence. Life sentence. And she's getting shit on because she's going to law school. It was funny. They were having drinks at law school. I went to law school. We drank a lot the whole fucking time. So, I mean, again, it's this double standard. If it's a multicultural, successful young woman, she's held to a different standard. And what they do is they get other people to come and attack them. It's amazing. Kim, here's the statistics that will put this into context. Kim Kardashian has got more people out of prison in the last 2 years than the NAACP. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People has been less successful in getting people out of prison than the multicultural sister who has done amazing things and seemingly tried to change the world for the better. She has 4 multicultural children. She does nothing other than seemingly, again, try to enjoy her life, try to, and apparently loves her kids, and yet takes her time to try to help people get out of prison in a fucked up sentencing policy that no one does anything else about. But Kim Kardashian's getting shit on because she was drinking one night as she's studying for school. This gets information. The reason this gets coverage, this coverage is because it's an attack on a young, successful female club member. They're attacking, they get coverage for attacking young, multicultural, successful women. And we go along with it. This shit, it's not funny. This is self-sabotaging. This is, and just look at it. Look at it. Why are we attacking her this week? What did she do this week? She also, Brandon Bernard was just put to death at the age of 40. He went out to death row. I think he was 16. Horrible crime. All horrible. The issue, Kim Kardashian worked to try to help this cat. It wasn't successful, but that's what Kim Kardashian did this week. And yet we allow people to trash on her just on an ongoing basis. It doesn't help us. We shouldn't participate. Half of our children are going to be young, multicultural women. Half of them. We can't allow this. If they were attacking Jewish young women, if they were attacking Jewish women being bar mitzvahed, that wouldn't be allowed. If we were attacking Christian young women, Catholic young women, and saying you can't be baptized, you can't be christened, it wouldn't be allowed. But it's okay if you attack, again, young, successful, multicultural women. We can't allow this to happen. It's asinine. Why do you think it's permitted? I think it's a level of race. I think what's really happened is again, it's because it's two people, because it's an African American and a Latina, or an African American and Asian, that they view that product as not the product of African American and Asian, but just this amorphous entity. And what we're all about here is we are a different entity, but we're still parts of the community. But I guess at a more stark level, we are winning. That's the thing here, is that we don't have to be treated. They don't have the authority or the ability or the power to talk shit to us. This is I was telling young interracial brother Mark, I said, I'm gonna talk about Yamamoto. Yamamoto is one of the great figures in history. After the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor two days ago, 50 years ago, shit. After they bombed Pearl Harbor, Imperial Japan was ecstatic. They're like, we beat them. They're weak. They're not going anywhere. They're not the future. And Yamamoto says, I fear all we've done is awaken a sleeping giant. We're that giant. And the sooner we stand up and say, yeah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to put a petition online and say, attack this person because an interracial mother can't be in an ad. Sooner we do that, this shit will stop. But it's a problem. It's a problem. The and that was all just a lead into to what's really got me pissed off, troubled, I should say, is that it's Mulatto. She's a young rapper, and here first I'm defending WAP, and now it's Mulatto, and ironically I have two mulatto kids, one of whom is in music, and but this isn't a music thing. But ironically, again, it comes back to this seminal issue that I'm pointing to, and that is, why is it open season on young, interracial, successful women? Why is that? It doesn't happen to any other group. Mulatto is she's a interracial. She's biracial. She is, she's grown and moved and done different things. And I don't like the direction of her music, but this has nothing to do with that to me. What it has to do with me is I watched this interview with Mulatto with this DJ Vlad, a YouTube person who, by the way, there's no petition saying kick DJ Vlad off YouTube for acting or treating Mulatto like she's just a foreigner. This interview he did with her, it was painful. He says, so your mom around? She's like, yeah, my mom's around. Oh yeah, and your father? Yeah, my dad's around. Yeah, they're, and she's like, they're married. And every question this guy asked is predicated upon this ugly stereotype, apparently, that multicultural children's parents aren't together, they aren't married, they don't stay together. And I'm watching this thing, and it's just this ugly, presupposed, subjective views about what multiculturalism is. And he said, so people have been criticizing you about your name. What do you have to say about that? Aren't you black? And she says, no, I'm biracial. My father's black, my mother's white. And it's this assault. I mean, literally, go watch the interview. It's embarrassing. She's a young, this was 2 years ago. She was 21 probably. I'm watching this young multicultural sister. She's great, answering every question and doing it directly. I'm proud of who I am. I'm biracial. My parents are great. They support me. They're together. And yet it's foreign to these people. And it really lays it out. It's like, you would not do that to anyone else. You want to do it to anyone else. And I'm watching this young kid, and I'm proud as fuck of her. And yet here we are on YouTube with a YouTube personality. Let me put it this way. He's a white dude from Ukraine. I guess we could say, so you're a white guy from Ukraine making money off almost exclusively people of color. Doesn't that make you usurious? Doesn't that mean you're exploiting black people and brown people? We wouldn't do that, would we? But this dude treats a 21-year-old girl like she's a piece of dirt. I mean, it's offensive. It can't happen. Those are our children. Those are our children. We don't have to tolerate this. It's trash. It's trash. And again, we're back to the African American and white Caucasian woman grouping of, she's being attacked. They are literally asking her. She's being pressured to change her name. And of course, the way they define it is that they say, oh, but the way mulatto is defined, it means a donkey or something. Well, actually, that's if you take that definition, but there are multiple other definitions, including the Arabic definition that just says she's different from different people, not Arabic. But more importantly, this idea that you can pressure a woman of color, a biracial, interracial club member, to not identify as, to use your name, to call yourself mulatto. Who the fuck are you people? Go watch this interview. She's great. They're literally trying to tear apart this person based upon racial origins. It's blatant racism, and they get away with it. This is in the fucking, I think it's Double XL. Double XL, it's a magazine that they kill Trump people. They kill, and again, I'm not a Trump person. I'm none of those things. I'm just saying, if you want, how about this? They kill racism. George Floyd, it's outrageous. It's that, it's discrimination. But you running down a multicultural girl because of her racial identity. And what's worse is then you criticizing her because she's like, oh no, I'm not going to let you front on my racial identity. I'm proud of who I am. And this person is literally now being forced. You look at the change from the DJ Vlad interview to the one where she says, I'm going to think about it. What the fuck? Think about this. This is 2020, and you have media outlets that purportedly are against discrimination, and they're actively allowing it. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. What if someone said that to your son? What if your son's in school and they say, hey, you know, this interracial thing, it's a problem and it worries us, and maybe you should just say you're white. Maybe you should say you're white. Yes, that's all you should do is say you're white. They are assaulting us as a people, as a community. And what's fucked up the most about it is they're targeting young 21, 22, 23-year-old multicultural women. That's what they're doing. And we're letting them do it. It has to stop. Halsey, first of all, I didn't even know she was a club member. So, but power to you, Halsey. And I'm watching her thing, and I almost fucking fainted. She goes to she's doing a red carpet show, and she takes her dad. People are asking her, why do you have your dad here? Why is he here? And part of what she also said, now this was on, what show was this on? I think it was Dish Nation. Now, there's one sister on there that said, no, you guys got it wrong. Because Halsey had said, she said, I'm not even going to talk about people in my community who are attacked. She says, I'm interracial. I'm not subjected to these things. But 3 of the 4 announcers on Dish were saying, yeah, that's fucked up. She shouldn't say this. And the other sister was like, no, she's saying, this is who I am. And I'm not going to lecture it. And I'm not going to say it. But then she's attacked. Again, because of her race. It would not happen to anybody else. If there's an African American walking down the red carpet and there were 3 white dudes sitting there, look at her. She sure is black. She looks black to me. I think she's colored. Hey, how do you feel about being a Negro or colored? They would be gone. And yet we sit here on Double XL, on Dish Nation, on the Griot, which is Joy Reid. I love the readout, and Jason Johnson, the professor, where they came from. I'm on the readout, and they're trashing. They have a whole article on trashing mulatto. This is an African American publication predicated almost entirely upon politics, and it has an entire section on trashing mulatto because.
Do you see a difference in?
Hold on, interracial Mark has something to say.
Do you see a difference in what people are mixed with in the way they're treated as multicultural people?
You know what's funny, and I don't, frankly, because it's ironically because the next person is Bad Baby. I didn't know who she was, and I'm reading this thing. She is half Jewish and like a third Italian and a third Irish, and she's getting shit on because first of all, she wore braids. And then second, right? She has braids. How could she have braids? Jewish people never wore braids. But she is as multicultural as you get. She's as multicultural as you get, and she's being attacked. I'm reading this, and I guess she had a fucked up life. I'm reading this thing about her parents that she had left home or something at an early age, and she's here being successful, and they're shitting on her. I'm like, this is a kid who was 16 who had apparently grave difficulties with her parents, and she's successful, and she's being attacked because one, she wore braids, and the other one, they said she was too tan. She's too tan. She's a multicultural person. It's not just black and white or brown and Asian. It is this relationship where one side of your family is this and the other side is this, and you come together, and that connection creates a broader community. It makes us stronger. It makes us more understanding, and it imposes a higher responsibility on us. Bad Baby, and again, I don't even, nah. But here's my point. She's fucking 17 or 19 or 20. She's your fucking 20-year-old. And you've got these people assailing her, attacking her. Mulatto's being attacked because she took a wig. They cover it. But they don't cover people attacking her because of her identifying as multicultural. You want to talk about appropriating someone's race or someone's ethnicity? Destroying someone because of their ethnicity is more offensive. It's improper, and it happens. And it's not just interracial, it's multicultural people. Bad Baby, and again, not my thing. But when you listen to what she's been through, it's like shit. And by the way, she was what kind of Jewish? It's the highest. It's Ashen. I'm going to get this right, because what's amazing about it, it was a Jewish group that was almost fucking destroyed. Oh, I got it. Ashkenazi. Is that right? Let me see if I got this right. Ashkenazi. Man, I sounded like a Christian there. What is it? Ashkenazi. It is, if you look, Ashkenazi Jews have been, I think the percentage of them that survived the Holocaust was like shockingly low. And then they've gone out and become amazingly successful. Supreme Court justice, current justice now. It's amazing. And this is what Bad Baby was. So she's 50% Ashkenazi Jew, 37 Italian, and 26.25% Irish. She's multicultural, and she's getting trashed because she wore braids and she was too tan. She sings R&B. I mean, she can, who are you people to say that she can't be who she is? If we get to this point where there's a group of appointers, where it's African Americans and only African Americans, whatever percentage of, African American makes you African American. If we're at the point where they get to choose, or where a group of Caucasian women get to choose, that in and of itself is racism. And from our perspective, from the multicultural perspective, it just can't be. We're not gonna deal with it. We're the sleeping giant. And let me just say this, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. There's people I blame for this, frankly, and it's members of the multicultural community who could do something. And again, this is going to be a conflict. Kris Jenner. She is one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. She is in the multicultural community. She has six multicultural grandchildren. You are a power broker. You should help stop this. It has to stop. George Lucas's wife, George Lucas and his wife are some of the most powerful people. It has to stop. Has to stop. They are targeting our young women, and it's fucked up. Kris Jenner, you see this. You're the best. Your kids have been great because they've done a lot of things, but they're people that need help. They're people that need help, and we should do that. That's what we should do. And that's our show for today. Was I pissy there, Mark? Or?
Oh, that's all good.
All right. But here's where I'm at. We have this blessing. I mean, we are lucky as fuck to be here, to be multicultural in America and have all these amazing things happen, but we got to fight for them. We can't let these people take it away. This is our lives. It's our kids' lives. We're the way forward. That doesn't mean we have to be the sacrilegious, I can't say this, the sacrificial something. It's wrong. Don't listen to me on this. That doesn't mean we have to let people treat us like shit. It's not going to happen. We don't have to ask them. This is our right. This is us. We can't let these people get away with it. And do your thing, mulatto. All right. You ready, mulatto? Young mulatto brother over there?
I'm not Hispanic.
You know, it's just a definition. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Come back and see us next week. We're going to do something great. We appreciate you. We really do. Thank you. The Fletch Cast is a production of the Laugh Bureau in association with Mark Samuel Media, a club member.